Toronto also boasts one of the oldest police forces in the world. The first police officers, though, were amateurs. In the beginning, every fit man was required to put in a few nights on watch duty. The arrival of city status in 1834 brought the first official force.
A high constable was appointed, and 1 year later he was given the freedom to hire 5 more full-time constables and a small corps of part-time constables. And they more or less kept an eye over the city. What's really interesting, it wasn't until many years later, like the mid-1800s, where they actually instituted a night watch. So policing in those days usually ran from about 8 o'clock in the morning to about 2 o'clock in the morning. You would have a kind of paddy wagon or horse-drawn wagon in the early 1800s. The mechanized vehicles came into policing around 1910, 1913. We started to receive our first motorized paddy wagons. The uniforms were created to enhance visibility, and part of that visibility of the police, just like today, provided comfort for the citizens in knowing that there was someone around to look after their interests if they were needed.
The Police Museum recalls stories of legendary officers like Detective Adolphus Payne, who captured the infamous Boyd Gang by simple deduction.
I can recall stories in the 1930s and 40s of Toronto City Police accident investigators digging up clues about a fatal hit-and-run accident. And then they would go to the Government of Ontario offices where the vehicles were registered and manually go through tens of thousands of registration forms until they found the one that they needed for that particular car to solve the case.
Over the years, the Toronto Police also gained renown in another field.
The Metropolitan Toronto Police Hold-Up Squad was one of the finest ever created in policing. And the clearance rate of that squad, the success rate of that squad, was the envy of police jurisdictions around the world.
For more information, visit our website, ontopoftheworld.net.
Police officer salary in Canada.
The Sullivan Police Department is facing major challenges with a shortage of officers.
Between some employees leaving and other candidates not working out, officers are putting in overtime to keep you and your family safe.
As News 10's Kylie Thomas explains, there may be other underlying causes behind the shortage.
Sullivan Police are down 3 full-time officers. That may not sound like a lot, but for a city of 4,000 people, that's half their staff.
We've really been struggling through 2016. We were kind of trekking along, and And of course, with the chief resigning, that really put us shorthanded.
That's right. They have 3 officers bearing the task of 24/7 protection.
We're kind of used to it a little bit, being shorthanded, but this is really pushing it with 3 guys right now covering the road. So
Chief Garrett says a major cause to their shortage is the dwindling interest to become a police officer. With controversial reports such as police shootings flooding the headlines, small towns like Sullivan see the effect.
when I first started almost 13 years ago, we had 40, 50, 60 people would apply for the position, and the last few years, we're lucky if we get 10 people to apply.
What also isn't helping the shortage is the lengthy hiring process. Candidates go through nearly a year of training and tests before they're sworn in. So the 3 officers will continue to work over 50 hours a week until new men or women can step in.
Obviously, that's not in our budget to plan for, so many guys getting so much overtime over the years. So that is definitely a challenge we got to face.
While the police department works to fill the 2 open positions, the Sullivan Sheriff's Department has stepped in for backup, all to make sure safety is the priority for the streets of Sullivan.
We still have veteran officers going to be on every shift that's working. It's just like I said, they're putting in more hours, and I want people to be aware that they are putting in their time for us.
They'll continue to fight to fill spots and fight to keep the city safe. In Sullivan, with Chief Photojournalist Mike Latta, Kylie Thomas, News 10.
The Sullivan Police Department is currently accepting applications.
If you or someone you know is interested in joining the Sullivan Police Department, information can be found on our website, WTHITV.com.
The police department mission is to provide a safer community and a better environment for people to live in and be able to flourish and do their day-to-day routine.
Police have to quickly react to dynamic situations. In the future, even their gear will work to protect them from unexpected dangers. Lightweight layers will provide protection from bullets and sharp objects, while sensors will monitor their health status and location. This will allow individual officers to monitor their own fitness and allow command to see the status of all officers responding to an incident.
First responders having situational awareness improves their safety because, again, it provides them additional information for which to apply to that specific incident.
Body-worn video and facial recognition will make it possible to find known criminals or suspects, and augmented reality glasses will allow future officers to stay engaged and aware of their surroundings while receiving notifications of potential threats.
I've got eyes on a robbery suspect at Pleasant and Main. I'm in pursuit.
When a police officer gets a job, he's not going to be able to think, hey, I need to get an additional piece of gear.
Hey, hold a second.
What he has on him is what he has on him.
Tagging and tracking technology will make it easy to document the details of the incident and pre-populate an arrest report. A suspect bracelet will monitor vitals to alert nearby officers if the suspect is in distress.
The system's old and we're still doing pen and paper, and there's a move for the department to move to a more robust system that's going to be more accurate and be able to generate reports instead of us creating our own reports.
We've gone from very rudimentary capability, basically audio information, to officers in the field having computers in their cars and mobile computing devices that they can carry with them.
We have multiple shots fired downtown at Dudley Street and Emerald.
The moment an incident begins, future commanding officers will be able to see the location and status of all officers. They'll be able to access public cameras to get a visual of the suspect, then pull suspect background information to share with officers on scene.
Where is this active shooter located? Where are my fellow officers so there's no friendly fire incidents? All these details, it will help the officer respond for his safety and for the safety of those around him.
We see him up ahead, approaching in vehicle now. Suspect has fled. We'll have the drone follow.
Police officers of the future will be able to pursue suspects in a safer way. Using drones, they'll be able to continuously monitor a suspect's location while situating themselves in the best position to approach.
I'm looking at a live feed of him hiding. Bottom of the back staircase, number 19.
I see the feed now. I have Bateman and Owens 2 blocks away. Wait for them as backup before your approach.
Police, drop your weapon! Down on the ground, face down!
Stay where you are!
Officers will be able to collect evidence with their personal communications devices, making it easy to document the incident and build a report. All of this technology will work as an integrated system, helping future officers stay safe and better serve their communities.
The technology there now is, we're pretty sure it's available, almost positive it is. It's just a matter of catching up.
The communities are getting more sophisticated and demand better and better service. So we have to find ways to make sure that we streamline, continue to make them more efficient, more effective, and oftentimes with the same number of resources.
For people to actually take note and make improvements for a police officer, not only for their safety, not only for the public safety, but also for their health, I think is a great leap forward for the police department.
Special Vehicle Units active domestic 756 East Main Street, Monroe.